I wonder where it went. Maybe it's in the room. Namo Namo Tulsi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Tulsi Krishna Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Eya Vilasi Mike Namo Namo Tulsi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Keto Mara Shanalo Tara Pancha Purna Kripakore Koro Tare Vrindavanavasi Namo Namo Tulsi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Next one, more A. Morai
Vilasa Visala Yogasa
Morai Avilash Dimash Kunde Bhyovan
Nayana Hidevo Sada Yugala Rasi
Narayane Bostara Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna
Prayasi
Tulsi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Anyway Namo Namo Seva Vikara Diye Karani Jada So Tulasi Dina Krishna next Kasi Toy Nice Dina Krishna Dasika Hey Jana Mola Hoy
Radha Govinda Preme
Good
Tadayena Bhasi
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Tarajena cha papani brahma hatyarikani cha tani tani pranasyanti pradakshina pade pade. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. You know, you do. You do. You got it? Vrindai Tulsi Devyaya.
Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavataya Namo Namaha.
Vrindai Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavataya Namo Namaha.
Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavataya Namo Namaha.
Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prati Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Give Ramuna. Ramuna, do Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. I'll do it with you. Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Go pray Vanande Haribo. Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Koshobha. Janadi Pratavane Jagamana Loka. Jagajanamana Loka. Everyone. Ikate Advaita Srini Vashakradat Gosi Ache Gorachan Ratna Singhasane Arati Korena Brahma Aride Bhagani Narahari Ari Kori Samaradhivaya Sandaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadhikaya Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Madhuram Vedanta Bhaje Paramarasa Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur Kopi Chandra Jimmy Vatana Usaya Dala Dese Dana Mara Kori Dala Mara Viva Shuka Narada Jaya Jaya Tora Chande Rudiko Soga Jaya Jaya Tora Chande Rudiko Soga Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, what song am I thinking right now? You got to concentrate really hard. You can. What song singing in my mind? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a little hint. Mere Parambara Pranam Hey. You gotta admit, this song is so much fun, isn't it? You ready? I'm not convinced you're ready. Yeah. Okay, if you're not ready, you need the song. And if you are ready, the song needs you. Here we go. We need a little higher. Krishna Jinkanam. Here we are. Okay, I'll do, then you repeat. That way the song will last longer. Krishna Jinkanam Hey. Gokula Jinkadam Hey. You sound great, by the way. Really good. I say Sri Bhagavana ko mere barambara pranam Hey. Yashoda ji ka maiya hai, Nanda ji bapaya hai. I say Sri Gopala ko mere parambara pranam hai. I say Shri Gopala ko mere parambara pranam hai. Radha Jinka Jaya hai, Adbhuta Jinka Maya hai. I say Shri Kashyama ko mere parambara pranam hai. Luta luta dati makana kayo, Wala bala sangatinu chadayo. I say Leela Dhamma ko mere parambara pranam hai. Dupada Sutta ko Raja Pachayo, Graha se Gaja ko Panda Chudayo. I say Kripa Dhamma ko mere barambara pranam hai. Guru Pandava ko Yuddham Machayo, Arjuna ko Upadesha Sunayo. I say Dinanatha ko mere barambara pranam hai. Bhajare Hey Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Gopala Hare. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Gopala, go. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madhava, everybody Bhakti Bihari. Bhakti Bihari,
Radha Damodara,
Radha Damodara,
Radha Giridhari,
Radha Giridhari,
Radha Gokulananda,
Radha Gokulananda, Gopinatha, Radha Krishna Gopinatha, Radha Kunja Bihari, Radha Landamishvara, Gandharika Giridhari, Radha Nila Madhava, Radha Perishishvara, Radha Parthasarthi, Kishore Kishori, Radha Govinda,
Radha Kalsan,
Radha Kal, Bhajara, Govinda Gopala Hare, Bhajara. What am I thinking now? Close. It was really close. That should give you a clue. What? That's right. That's what I was thinking. Because Brajras Bhavatam said it last time. Let's try. Ready? Radha Krishna bol bol. Bola Resho Bhai. Radha Krishna bol bol. Bolo Resho Bhai. Shikariya, Shabnadiya, Prechene, Gornika. You got to read the translation. Get on the mic.
When Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda came dancing through Nadia, they gave these teachings. Chant, chant, Radha Krishna. Everyone chant.
Hari Bol, Bolo Re, Shikari, back, back. Hari Bol, Bolo Re, Shikari, Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Shri Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Nichai Mayad Bhoshe, Chacho Peshe, Kacho Habu, Dubu Bai.
You are caught up in a whirlpool of senseless action and are sinking lower and lower. Chant, chant, Radha Krishna. Everyone chant.
Hari Bol, Bolo Re, Nichai Mayad Bhoshe. Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Shri Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Dear Krishna Das, Hey Vishwas, Bole To Ar Rugonai.
If you just understand that the spirit soul is the eternal servant of Krishna, you will never have any more sorrows. Chant, chant, Radha Krishna. Everyone chant.
Hari Bol, Bolo Re, Krishna Das. Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Shri Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo Re, Shobai. Krishna bolbe jabe, pulakka hobe, jorbi anki boli kai. Do it one more time. You know why? Krishna bolbe jabe, pulakka hobe, jorbi anki boli kai.
Chant Hare Krishna, and your eyes will fill with tears, and your body will feel transcendental shivering. Chant, chant Radha Krishna. Everyone chant.
Hari Bol, Bolo. Hari Bol, Bolo Krishna bolbe jabe. Bolbe jabe. Radha Krishna Bolo Re, Shobai. Shri Radha Krishna Bolo Re, Shobai. Radha Krishna Bolo Change Cholo E Mantra Bika
Simply chant Radha Krishna and join with us. Those are the only alms we beg. Chant, chant Radha Krishna. Everyone chant.
Bolo Radha Krishna Bolo. Radha Krishna Bolo Bolo Re Shobhai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Bolo Bolo Re Shobhai. Jai Sakal Vipad Bhakti Dino Bolen Jason Om Nam Gai.
All dangers will be gone when that name is chanted, says Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Haribo Bolo Re Jai Sakal Vipad. Radha Krishna bol bol bolo re shobhai. Get ready now, get ready. Jai Shakuladi for Bhakti Vinod Bolen Jason Om Nam Gai. Jai Radha Krishna bolo Shangi Cholo e Matra Vita Jai. Krishna bol re jabe pula kabe joldi anti boli hai. Hey Krishna das e Krishna chole to anti tonai. Niche maya bose jache meshe kacho habu dubai. Shikadiya Shapnadiya Puchene Shubhani Jai. 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 Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki. Shri Harinam Mahamantra ki. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki. Gaur Premanande. Nitai Gaura Haribo. 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Okay, now we gotta pay our taxes. You ready to pay your taxes? Did you pay your taxes yet? Who's chanted their chapter of Queen Kunti today? Oh, you didn't pay your taxes. Okay, if you want to keep the lights on, you gotta pay your taxes. You ready? Yes. Do you want the Sanskrit or the English? Let's vote. Close your eyes. Everyone who wants to just do the Sanskrit, raise your hand. Okay, now keep your eyes closed. No cheating. Raise your hand if you want to do just the English. Okay, it's a tie. We'll do both. Here we go. Queen Kunti's prayers, starting with Kunti Uvacha. so we can think about how we have association with the great souls just through the pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's an absolute connection we have with the spiritual world. Absolute means that the words on the page are non-different from the person. So when we say Kunti Uvacha, it means that we're directly in contact with Queen Kunti Devi. In fact, when we read Bhagavad Gita, there's no difference between Arjuna being directly there with Krishna at the battlefield Kurukshetra and us reading Bhagavad Gita. That's why when you get to the 11th chapter of the Gita and you're reading and you start to feel a little trepidation about going further because the universal form is a little bit scary. And when you're reading the verses from the 10th chapter of the Gita where Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. And you feel that Krishna is saying that from within your own heart, because there's no difference between Krishna saying it and you reading it in the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna saying it directly to you in your heart. So same way, we have direct association with Queen Kunti Devi. And here we go. Kunti Uvacha Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishvaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Mandavahir Avastitam Maya Javani Kakshanam Ajnadhoksrujam Avyayam Nalakshya Mudadrisha Nato Natyadaro Yata Tata Paramahamsanam Muninamam Malatmana Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katam Pashyena Histriyaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamalini Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Yata Rishikesha Kalena Devaki Kamsena Rutati Chiram Shucharpita Vimochikaham cha sahatmaja vibho Vayaivanatena muhurvibhadyana Ishan mahagne purushara darshanan Asat savaya manavasya krishrata Mrige mrige neka maharatasrato Ranyasya kasyasma hare virakshita Vipada santuta shashvat Tatra tatra jagat guru Bhavato darshanam yatsyad Apunar bhavadarshanam Janmaishvarya shruta sridhir Edamana puman Naivarhatya vidatum vai Tvalama kinchana gocharam Namo kinchana vittaya Nivritta gunavrittaye Atmaramaya shantaya Kaivalya pataye namaha Manye tvam kalamishanam Anali nidanam vibhum Samam charantam sarvatra Bhutanam yanvitah kalahi Veda kaschit bhagavam shakirshritam Tadehamanasya mrinam vidambanam Na yasya kaschit gaitosti karichir Vaishascha yasmin vishamamatirvinam Janna karma cha vishvatman Ajasya kartur atmanaha Tiryan rishishu yadusu Padadyanta vibandhanam Gopyadade dvaya kutabasidamakavad Yate dashashu kalilandana samramaksham Bhaktram daniya bhavapavanayasti tasya Samam vimohayati bhirabhihad vipeti Kechit ahur ajam jatam Punyashlokasya kirtaye Yadho priyasyam bhavaye Malayasyeva chandanam Apade vasudevasya Evakyam yakshito vyagad Ajastvam asya shemaya Vadhaya cha suradvisham Bharata bhavanayanye Bhuvo nava ivo dadao Siddhantya buddhibharena Jato yatma bhuvartitaha Bhavesmin klishyamananam Avidya kama karmabhi Shravana smaranarhani Karishyamiti kechana Shrimvanti gayanti granantya vikshasa Svaranti nandanti tavehitam jana Ta eva pashyantya acharena dhavakam Bhava pravaho paramam padam bhujam Yasya nastram svakrite hita prabho Shihasasi swit surado nujivina Yesham nachanyad bhavata parambujat Parayanam rajasuyojitam hasam Evayam namarupabhyam Yadhubhi sahapandava Bhavato darshanam yarhi Rishikanam iveshitu Neyam shobhishyate tatra Yate danyam gadadara Prapadayan ankita bhati Swalakshana valakshitai Ime janapada sritta Supakvausha diviruda Vanadri nadyutam vanto Yedante tava vikshitai Ata vishvesha vishvatvam Vishvamurte svakeshu me Sneha pasham imam chinti Dridham panusu vishnishu Tvaimenamya vishaya Matir madhupate sakrit Ratim udvahatad adda Gange laugam udhanvati Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishni Vishvapavani Druk Rajanya Vamsha Dahana Pavavarga Virya Govinda Godvija Sarati Haravatara Yogeshwara Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Sutuvacha Pritagyetam Kalapadai Pranikutat Pilodaya Mandam Jahasa Vaikunto Mohayan Iva Mayaya Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of diluting energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service under the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with the garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. O Rishikesh, master of the senses, and Lord of lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, to see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted, one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material modes of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and are the master of the monists. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object to favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Of course it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work though you are inactive, and that you take birth though you are the vital force of the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. And yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us? As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. O Gadadhara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave it, it will no longer be so. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vishnus. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. Sutta Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic prayer. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whoever made these slides has brought great joy to the world. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. And now we have some time for reflections, because we're a tight-knit community, and our community only runs on love and trust. Only those who feel spontaneously inspired because they feel grateful for the association, for the service, for the lifestyle, then can be truly steady. Otherwise, we go here and there. Rupa Goswami recommends that we take some time for guhyam akyati prichati. Share, in other words, sharing means caring, according to the Salvation Army. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Okay. I was reflecting on a point that you made earlier today in the class, which was don't change your natural inclinations and instead change your awareness so that you can direct those activities towards Lord Krishna. And I was feeling grateful that in spiritual service there's so much variety, and we can take practically anything of interest and offer it to Lord Krishna. And then the final step of that is cooperation, so that we can work together and bring all these various services together to serve the Lord together.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I've been reflecting a lot on a verse that actually Tejas taught me. It's from Bhagavatam. Tulayam lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martya nam kimutashashaha, which means that a moment's association of a devotee of the Lord is worth more than going to swarga or any material benefits. And I was just reflecting on that this week a lot and feeling really grateful for your association. And everybody's association, all the devotees, and I just want to pray to continue to stay in the association of devotees after hearing that verse.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I think last week I went biking, and before that there was a small plant that I accidentally trampled over. And when I went again this week, I saw that the plant was starting to die. And that taught me a couple things. One was that I thought back to Vaishnava Parad and how important it is that we should treat others. And I was also reflecting on the material world and how everything is temporary. And those are just two thoughts that I had from that.
Wow, beautiful.
Hare Krishna. I was reflecting over what Dhruta Prabhu was saying, where there's always divine and demoniac. And it's such an interesting point. And I read a purport regarding this. When Krishna was entering Dwarka, even the prostitutes came to offer their respects and obeisances. And Prabhupada writes in that purport that even in Dwarka, which is Krishna's city, he made this, they were still prostitutes. And one would ask, why is there a need for prostitutes in this wonderful city of Dwarka? And Prabhupada mentioned how everyone's an individual soul, and they have different kinds of capacities, and prohibition never works, even in Krishna city. And so there is always a place for liquor, for prostitutes, all these other kinds of sinful activities. It's managed by the government. It's not directly prohibited falsely, because they're still going to go for it. And so if it's controlled in that way, it's nice. And I was just thinking how there's always divine and demoniac. You can never get full utopia, even if it's fully Krishna conscious. And it just gives a lot more perspective when we're in an organization like ISKCON, or even in our temples and so on, where we can't expect things to be completely perfect. Because even in Dwarka, which we would think is perfect, there were still these kinds of things that were going on, but it just was managed in their own ways.
Yeah, thank you, Brajaras Prabhavana. Just to give a little context, we had been discussing a book called Knowledge Illusion. Brajaras Prabhavana and a group of devotees had helped extract the important points, because I had a conversation with the person who wrote it. He was a professor from Brown University. And in preparation for that conversation, I had been talking to some of the BI, Bhaktivedanta Institute devotees, and one of the thinkers in our movement, Dhruta Prabhu. And in our conversation, he was talking about how the devotees have been presenting papers at scientific conferences, and that I had made a side comment. I said, it's really nice to be able to carefully compose such thoughts into papers and present them, and present unassailable ideas. I used the word unassailable. And he smiled slightly, he stopped what he was saying, he said, actually, nothing is unassailable. He said, because there's always divine and demoniac nature, and even if you give a salient point, somebody may take the opposite side because that's their nature. They want to drag it in a different direction, towards darkness. Thank you. Nice points. Very practical. Yes, now we're moving over to this side. Okay.
Yesterday, Devamrit Maharaj, he gave a really, really nice lecture, but one of the things I took away from his lecture was every time he said that he was a devotee, he would correct himself, and he would say, I'm still trying to be a devotee. I really, really like that mentality, because it's just a reminder to everybody that no matter how far we think we've come, there's always more to go. And it was just a reminder for me to zoom out and understand that I am just a little speck in this universe trying my hardest to go back to Krishna. And it was a nice reminder.
Just to add on to Gita Priya's point, one word that particularly stood out to me in yesterday's verse was anujivana, which means dependent on the mercy of. And I've been reflecting a lot on that. And I know the term mercy case is often used, and I feel that I've always been dependent on the mercy of. And if I try to keep that mentality every day, then so much mercy can flow through rather than having expectations and all these other things that one may have.
Related to both of your points, I remember when Giriraj Maharaj was giving a remembrance of a god brother who had made this spontaneous statement when somebody was appreciating him. He said, "Oh well, I'm just a mercy case." And he said, and that relates to what you said, to stay in that position to receive mercy, and to do that, one should consider oneself unworthy. It's what Kunti Devi says in the verse, Janmaishvarya Shrita Shibir, Enamanamada Puman Naivar Yavidatum Vai Twamakinchana Gocharam. That you have to feel a kinchana, that Krishna, I don't have anything. And Prabhupada, in one of his talks about deity worship, you'll hear near the end of the lecture, when he's talking about the mood in which to offer something to Krishna. And Prabhupada's voice starts to crack. Anyone who listens to that talk, they'll also tear up, because it's an overwhelming humility. Actual humility is very overwhelming to hear. And it's like you said, it's very attractive when somebody is genuinely humble and keeps that mood. And Prabhupada said, when you bring something to Krishna, you should bring it in a humble mood. And he said, I'm very fallen and rotten, but I've brought you this, Krishna. And as he's saying that, I'm fallen and I'm rotten, then his voice cracks. You can tell that Prabhupada's emotional when he's doing that. And that brings out the essence of the feeling of Krishna consciousness, to approach Krishna with such humble feelings. Thank you. Yes. Yes. You? Okay, Sukeshri, but she's pointing to somebody else, so I'm confused. Okay. All right. Who's next? Oh, yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead. We'll give you a microphone or your money back from tonight's talk.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So SB 1.8.25, I just found it really very deep, where Kunti Maharani says, you keep giving us problems so that we can see you, and by this way we can escape the cycle of birth and death. And I was like, wow. When problems come, we tend to run away from the problems. And here is Kunti Maharani asking for more problems so that she can see Krishna and escape from the cycle of birth and death.
Prabhupada writes in the light of the Bhagavat that going back to Godhead is not a plaything. And there's not a way in which one can keep one foot in the material world and then try to put another foot in the spiritual world. There's a way that when one becomes ready to accept punishment, Prabhupada said, as the reward of the master, then you're qualified to approach Krishna in the spiritual world. Thank you very much for bringing that beautiful verse out. Sukeshri.
I was just thinking that even last time you had mentioned about, getting connected to, like today you were mentioning the same thing, like when we are talking about Kunti's prayers, you can connect with the character in Bhagavatam. So I've been thinking about that quite, because I would read Bhagavatam, I need to understand what happened, the story or the philosophy behind it. But looking at it in this angle changes the whole scenario. As if it's like, when I used to very ardently watch movies, when, my Guru Maharaj also says everything in movie theaters, you're totally lights off, so you're in a mode of ignorance, and then you will actually watch something and think you are that person and enjoy the whole thing. So, but then I was thinking about Bhagavatam, when you connect to the person that is actually there in the character, it could be all the Mahajanas, all the great people like Kunti Devi now. When she is saying that, and then when you actually feel that you are actually connected to her, you are present in that moment, the way you understand things is so much more different. Just want to mention that. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's very related to the point that you made about transferring over from being absorbed in the material energy and being absorbed in Krishna Lila. And all of the drama, all of the intrigue, I think we talked about it tonight in class, it's all there. But if one can get a taste for that, then we actually transfer ourselves to the spiritual world, even as we're here in the material world. We have no more interest in the material world, but we have to be interested somewhere. So that's what Prabhupada writes in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, that the transcendental literature is there to transfer our attention from the material world to the spiritual world. Nice. Sadhu?
Related to Ram's point about devotee association, I read this verse that Jadabharat said to King Rahugana. It's a famous verse. I think you quoted it once. But I mean, it ends with Vina Mahat Padara Jobhishekam, and it talks about unless one smears the dust of a pure devotee on his head, he can't realize the absolute truth. And it talks about, he can't realize the absolute truth even if he, becomes a brahmachari, even if he follows the principles of a vanaprastha, but only if he associates with a devotee, he'll be able to realize the absolute truth. So, yeah.
Rahuganai tapasana yati nachejaya nirvapanad grihadva nachandasanaiva jalagni suryarvina mahatpadarajopi. And poetically it says Raja means dust, Abhishek. So everyone knows what an Abhishek is, right? And then if you take an Abhishek with dust yourself, but what kind of dust? From the lotus feet of a pure devotee, and you take that and, okay, what are you doing? Abhishek. There's a way that when we're immersed in service to the pure devotees, such an important point, and it's the first point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes to Sanatan Goswami when he's describing the process of devotional service, and the entry to it is the association of devotees. Where else in Prahlad's prayers is that said? Evam janam dipatitam bravavahi kupe hamam vikanam amayam prampatam prasangat krivat masat sarashana bhaga. I think the meter, started it wrong, so it makes it more difficult. Evam janam nipatitam bravavahi kupe kama bikama manuyam prapatam prasangat kritvat masat shurashina bhagavan grihita soham katam nu visrideta vabritya sevam. Anybody remember the translation? Yes. Krishna Saka.
My dear Lord, I was falling in the dark well of material existence, following my material desires one after another. But your devotee Narada saved me from this, and how can I give up his service?
Well, it's been an eventful weekend, hasn't it? I mean, you can't go anywhere without some kind of celebration, festival. It's been fantastic. And there's so much going on in our community. Devotees going off to school today was quite a revelation to hear all your talks. It just made us so satisfied to hear your realizations that you expressed as you're heading out for various places. And then last night we drove to the dark side of the moon. And there was a festival up there with the loudest drums I've ever heard in my life. I think it rearranged my biological situation. And then today we had that celebration, plus we had the Sunday program. My day started early. We had meetings. We've been having meetings every day. Some of them start at 5 a.m. because they're desperately reaching out to devotees all over the world just to light a fire of enthusiasm for the importance of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam and what it would make of our movement to reach 100,008 sets in 1 year by 2026. That's what we've been aiming for. And sometimes the fire just comes naturally and it sweeps through, and other times I feel like I'm striking a match and it keeps going out. And, we never know what's going to happen next, but we do know that we're very fortunate. I saw a little baby. Which baby did I see? Somebody was holding a nice little baby. And I just said to the baby that he took birth on the right planet, in the right yuga, and in the right association. And we all have that great fortune that we have an opportunity to follow in the footsteps. Thanks for bringing up such a nice verse of a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, and the Guru Parampara. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is watching over us, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji. These are our protectors. And if we just go on with doing the best we can with what we have right now, despite the fact, as Brajaras Bhavana said, there will be anomalies in this world, then we'll be more successful than we can imagine. And Prabhupada mentions in the light of the Bhagavat that there's a way in which we may not understand the full force of the association and the service we've done in this life until we actually leave this current situation. So it's greatly fortunate that we have the opportunity to work together. We've been given this little place in the universe just to use our intelligence to follow Krishna and his great representatives and to work together to help make other people fortunate. We should be able to at least convert Silicon Valley, right? That'd be nice. And who knows? We heard from Maharaj yesterday that it seemed impossible that the Soviet Union would collapse, although Prabhupada said just distribute books there, and a few went in, and then a few more, and then big truckloads went in. There's a whole history of it. I wrote about it in a book I wrote a few years ago called Our Family Business. The history of that is in there, in that book. It's worth reading. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Panchatattva, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please encourage us from within our hearts to work together and to be very humble and tolerant of others' trespasses. Let us work together in service, especially keep our temple clean and free from clutter. That's the great sign of advancement in devotional service. Thank you for considering our requests. Om Tat Sat. And a footnote that when the shoe rack is perfectly aligned, all shoes look like they are in the rack and nobody just kicked them off their feet anywhere. And when you can't find anything out of place. Okay, now it's time to announce. I have something to say. This is from the task force and Kitchen recruiting. It's good. I already said some things. It's so important to clean. And I was thinking the other day, because somebody asked me, how can I be more enlivened in devotional service? And I didn't think my answer, I thought my answer was okay, because it was authorized. But then later on I was thinking, menial service is so powerful. There's a devotee I know in Japan, and he always tries to do some simple work so he has more time to preach. And one time he got a job cleaning public toilets. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. So he's an exalted soul, and he's cleaning public toilets. So he told me on the side, he said, "It's amazing. I feel like I have no material desires." Because of that menial service. And I was saying manual, it comes from doing something with your hands. And taking up menial service is what made Lord Chaitanya attracted to Prataparudra Maharaj. He was a great king. He could have just kicked back and said, "Why doesn't Lord Chaitanya come to me? I'm the king." But he went out and he swept the road, which was a big deal at that time. It meant that he was going against the grain of society. He was being a bungi. So that's a really important point. And cleaning the kitchen, which is really the heart of the deity room. You can think of it that way. The kitchen is the place where we're serving Krishna. And consistency in doing that means we have to come up to a higher level. And kitchen cleaning is very dear to my heart. Hare Krishna. Now let's have a tell us what we've won, or where we fell behind. Yeah, come on up. Give them a hand. This is the cleaning crew. The cleaning warriors.
As we all heard from Maharaj, cleaning is very important. Srila Prabhupada famously says cleanliness is next to godliness. So we have some pictures prepared from the devotees today who were the true saviors in the background today.
Excuse me. Hare Krishna. So these are our kitchen heroes of the day. This is the rack that's fully cleaned. This is the things that need to be cleaned. They're organizing the spices.
Yay! Haribo! Yay!
And the shoe rack is organized diligently by Prabhu over here. I couldn't get a picture of him in the action behind Krishna Sakar. If you want to stand up, Prabhu, he continuously keeps checking the shoe rack to make sure all the shoes are inside.
So as you can see, there's a lot of opportunity for service, and there's so many more places where we need devotees to come up and step up. And for that, we have arranged for a spreadsheet or a sign-up list, where through that, which we'll organize devotees into teams, and we'll tackle this problem 1 week at a time, splitting service on Saturday and Sunday. So we have some devotees who already signed up on Prasadam, and we'd like to thank them for their sign up.
And I'll just quickly read out the names. So first we have Bhagavat Pran Prabhu, Ibo, Om Shankar Prabhu, Anshu, Sadhu Vrindavan Das, Vaishnavi, Pulkit Gupta, Shamarupa Prabhu, Anushri, Vishaka Mataji, Preeti Gaurangi Mataji, Vinay Prabhu, Vedant, Amira, Shreya, Dana Keli Chintamani Mataji, Ajit Arjun Prabhu, and Sujit Prabhu. So these were all the devotees who signed up today during Prasadam. So can we all give a big round of applause for all the devotees? So the total number of devotees we have is 17. I was thinking we can get 3 more devotees to sign up today, right now, to help in the kitchen. It's just it's a once a month commitment, either on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I was wondering if there's anyone here willing to help right now. I can add your name to the list. All right, we got 3 devotees. Can we get 3 more devotees? All right, it's 2. There's 5 total. Yeah. We need 1. Yeah. Okay. Here's the pen. 1 more devotee. All right, Prabhuji in the back. Thank you. Prabhu, what is your name? Yeah. Rajiv, Prabhu.
Rajiv.
Okay, 3 more. 3 more people.
Krishna 10, Krishna 9, Krishna 8.
Shastra Sar? All right, 2 more. Tadiya Seva Prabhu. Haribol. One more.
One last one.
All right, Sundarandra Prabhu. Haribol.
We'll stay in touch with all the devotees, and we'll be meeting soon in the next one or 2 weeks to organize teams, organize leaders for each team, and start our weekly shifts shortly. Please keep yourself on the lookout. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Nirkula and I have to fly to Toronto on Wednesday, and Krishna willing, we'll see you back the weekend after this coming weekend. Pardon me? Be back here Monday. Monday's Balaram's appearance day. Yeah. So we'll get in Monday morning, and then we'll see in the evening. We may not make it to the Mangal Artik that day because we'll be flying in from Toronto. But we'll be singing on the plane. Yes, Nirkula?
I just want to thank Madhukanta and Leela and Abai and Rukmini and Ananda for coming. I think Prabhu introduced them yesterday. Madhukanta, our beloved Pujari and founding member of ISV. It was so nice to have you all here again, and we hope that it won't be another 19 years or so before you come back.
I told him it was like Krishna when he left Vrindavan. He said, I'll be back in a few days. And when Madhukanta left, I said, where are you going? He said, I'm with my mother. And then I said, when are you coming back? A few days. We didn't know it would be 107 years. But Nirkula, continue. Yeah, it's heartfelt. And especially seeing the kids. These are good kids. I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, how could they not be hanging around with you two? But thanks for coming, all of you. And please make this your home away from home. And stay as long as you like. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalptarusha kripasinabheva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.